What a beautiful location this garden is. We want to thank them for that, but also so many other folks that made this possible. Bone Tree Distillery, Sunday Brunch Agency, Cooper Spirits, Levesque Wine, Beer and Spirits, Embassy Cigars, Wing Lamb. I told you there will be cigars. Wing Lamb, of course, and you, Bernie. So Akayo. So we're just grateful for all of those who participated and helped us out. So I'd like to ask the bishop to come up and say a few words, if you would, please. Sure.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. It's an opportunity for us again to gather to support those who have been suffering and are suffering and will continue to suffer from the devastating fires in Los Angeles. And when you think of what our Lord did a number of individual miracles, but it didn't depend all on him. He brought together the disciples and he formed them and he trained them and he gave them power so that they were able to go out and take care of healing people and freeing people from the evil. And then they were able to go out and bring more disciples. So for us as Catholics to gather together in community is exactly what the Lord wants. He wants us to be together, to get to know one another, to support one another, to be in fellowship with one another, and then to equip one another in the good work that we're called to do as Christians of caring for our brothers and sisters in whatever need or challenge that they may experience. So the fact that you're here, I'm sure, gives great joy to the Lord. I'm not sure, however, if the cigar smoke will give as much joy to the Lord as the incense at Mass, but nonetheless, we'll let Anthony deal with that when he goes to meet the Lord in heaven. But again, thank you for your willingness to come, to get to meet some other fellow Catholics in our diocese, to share some time of fellowship, to renew our spirits, to thank God for the gift of life, for the gift of our faith, the gift of friendship, the gift of our church, and then to reach out and generally support our brothers and sisters. So I'm grateful to the Foundation for their creativity in creating this night, to Father Eugene and the parishioner of St. Thomas More for hosting us, and for all of us who have come to be here this evening, and especially looking forward to hear Wang and to be once again inspired by his testimony, his story. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, I'd like to explain or have Kathleen Hurt, Executive Vice President of the Orange Catholic Foundation and good friend, come up and explain a little bit about the Help LA Fund, if you would. Kathleen?
Well, thank you all again so much for being with us this evening. Just looking around this space and seeing people coming from all over the diocese, outside of our diocese, to build fellowship and to gather together to glorify our Lord in service to others is absolutely beautiful. So thank you so much for being with us. I have the pleasure of speaking a little bit, but I think the most beautiful part of when tragedy happens, that we get an opportunity not to just reach out to Catholics, but we allow our Catholicness to be able to reach out. We allow Christ to shine through us. And that really was the vision, quite honestly, of the Help LA Fund. I am so honored to share with you that in partnership with the Diocese of Orange and the Archdiocese of LA, that we are collaborating in a way to, one, pray for, but then also financially support those that have been affected and changed forever in their everyday livelihood. There's been a lot of attention that's been given to those that have lost their homes, many that have lost lives, and trying to help them move towards a state of rebuilding. And we know that this is going to be a multi-year process, without question. But if any of you saw the recent Wall Street Journal article, there were actually 73,000 jobs that were lost by these fires. And that's the audience that we want to make sure that we are serving. There is a fund that has been established, started with $1 million gift from the diocese alone, under Bishop Van's leadership, to make sure that we were able to provide support to pastors directly who are serving in this Archdiocese of LA community so that we can not only help people at this time, but over the remaining months and potentially even years that they're going to need ongoing support. And so the way that we have structured this is that we have a grants committee that will be gathering and reviewing applications that are received from both the Knights of Columbus, from St. Vincent de Paul, from recommendations from the Holy Sepulchre, from the Order of Malta. We're going through and reaching out to a number of large Catholic organizations, not just based locally here in Orange County, but across the nation, and asking them to spread this good work. And so today, on your tables, you also have an opportunity to spread some good work, either through you bringing this and sharing it with somebody else through your different social media channels, and or you yourself making a gift. And so with that, I ask you to take a closer look. And Wayne, why don't you share a little bit about what you envision people doing?
All right, so we got the car. So let me share you before I ask you guys to help out, right? As a company, we already donated $25,000 last Tuesday on Giving Tuesday for a total of $200,000 between all the restaurants, where we took the profits for Giving Tuesday back to all the different restaurants in LA that are going to be affected. But I didn't realize, besides all the families and all the people that lost their houses, it's all the gardeners and all of the housekeepers in the Pacific Palisade. 99.9% of them are Hispanic. And I guarantee you, 100% of them are Catholics, because that's what we are. I'm from Brazil, we're all Catholics, right? So that's what the money is going to be for. But let me tell you what we've done. In the last 2 weeks, what started out as 20 of my restaurant friends from Orange County, they got together and they said, we're going to start making meals. And so we all know there's a lot of food trucks that you see on social media. They're all getting paid. Believe it or not, there's a lot of government funds out there supporting all that, right? Because again, we can't afford to just give everything away. We also have to make a living. But these 20 chefs from Orange County decided they were going to give. And I said, well, by the way, you need to still cover your costs. So I've been literally for 2 weeks chasing money for all these chefs because they came up with a great idea. But more important, for all of us here that are doing different projects to get pet supplies, whatever it is that we're trying to gather for the families that are in need up there, you can't get through the barricades because you're not an official partner to the food banks, to the LA Fire Foundation and the American Red Cross. I'm a partner of all three because I've been doing this through the California Love Drop for the last 5 years. So my friends were going to go to the Rose Bowl 2 weeks ago. I get a phone call from the Red Cross, goes, Wayne, I hear there's a bunch of you guys coming. Who did you guys talk to? And I'm like, I don't know. I goes, you guys haven't talked to anybody. You're going to get turned away. So as you and a partner, we are partners, you lead the caravan of the chefs and we'll let your truck come through the barricades. So that's what I had to do. So when another group in Pacific Palisades, you're going to love this, the command center, guess who it's being run by? My friends that run Coachella. You need guys that know how to do big events logistics. So I get another phone call, goes, by the way, great that you're going to bring supplies to this place. You can't get in. You need to be escorted in by the National Guard. And unless they're driving a Wahoo's truck, you're not going to get in either. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I didn't sign up for this. So all of a sudden, I'm gathering supplies. Because guess what? The number one item the firemen want is an ice cold drink, not a warm bottle of water. There are pallets of water at every one of these stations. There's no ice. So I'm like, okay, let me find an ice truck. Let me find you Gatorade and Pedialyte, and let me find you energy drinks. Because I'm the only event guy out of all my restaurant friends. I had to call Monster Energy Drink, call Gatorade, and call, Red Bull. I'm the guy that can do it because I do events with all these companies. So I went from dialing for dollars, finding supplies, and now having to deliver. So this Sunday, there will be another group of guys led by my good buddy there, Brian Moore, who's volunteering to help me here tonight. It's the second trip up there. He will be driving to the command center, which is the beach in, I think it's called Will Rogers Beach down in Malibu. And that's where all the firemen, that's where all the food trucks are based. So they come there to get refilled before they go back and fight the fires. So we're going to be taking supplies back up there. And again, nobody could find coolers to keep the ice in. So I had to call Yeti and Igloo to go, hey guys, I need some coolers. So I've all of a sudden went from just my day job to doing all this. And then I get a call from the church. It goes, hey guys, not that you're not doing enough, but we need money. So I'm going to ask you guys, if you don't have supplies to give me, I know you guys got a check in your, and a credit card, please. Right? We got a lot of families that I don't know where they're going to be going back to work or when, right? So if you guys can do whatever you guys can do, let's take care of each other because we're all in this thing together. We're one big Catholic family. So let's stick together. Thank you guys.